gonna let me know if you give a damn about me? 'Cause you got my hand tied in my defense. I always fall for confidence. Your compliments look good on me. I was nobody knows it better than the girl in the corner with the scarlet letter. While you're watching, you may think that she doesn't matter. No one knows you better. Oh yeah. With you, take a chance, take a chance. Oh yeah. With you, take a chance, take a chance. Oh yeah.
Oh yes, I earned this.
Great to meet you. Keep your feet on the ground.
a dream that when I woke up you were finally there. And I believed that all the hours turned to minutes, it's not fair. And when I turned to look at where you should have been, I started drifting. I tried to stare into your eyes and realize that there was something missing. When I turned to look at where you should have been, I started drifting. I tried to stare into your eyes and realize that there was something. And if I stayed, I couldn't help but lie awake. 'Cause it's not you, it's just a dream, it's only fake. And still if I changed, everything would be the same. I can't take no more. I don't know what I'm fighting for, and I just gotta leave. I had a dream that when I woke up you were finally there. When I woke up you were finally there. When I woke up you were finally there. So call it now, call it what you want. 'Cause I feel this falling, now we're moving on. And the dust moves faster on an open road. And I feel like thunder, I won't let it go. 'Cause time gets wasted when you're not astray. But I don't want to play this game, so lay me down and we'll watch all the tables turn. Keep looking on, 'cause I don't know where we're headed now. Maybe we like animals, running wild through this fire. Wanna take it all, run the night, run for miles, and we'll get it all wrong. Oh, let's get it all wrong. So catch a light to feel it beating down. Wanna feel the air into our body now. 'Cause the dust moves faster on an open road. And I feel like thunder, I wanna let it go. 'Cause time gets wasted when you're not astray. But I don't want to play this game, so lay me down. 'Cause I don't know where we're headed now. Maybe we like animals, running wild through this fire. Wanna take it all, run the night, run for miles, and we'll get it all wrong. Oh, let's get it all time is all we needed more. Let's chase the life that you're searching on to find. To find. Maybe we like animals, running wild through this fire. Wanna take it all, run the night, run for miles, and we'll get it all wrong. Oh, let's get it all wrong. Yeah, let's get it all wrong. Oh, let's get it all wrong.
Well, I wrote you a song, but you say you want a symphony. I will take the light through the times and the blades to break my soul. But then sadicity aside, and I'm not without you next to me. I will take the front to the line and bring back the night before. Light the fire and let it burn on top of you. Breathe again beneath the flames. I'm a man that can't be saved. Light the fire and let it burn on top of you. Breathe again beneath the flames. I'm a man, I'm a man, I'm a man that can't be saved. Perhaps you needed more from me. I can stand to fight all the time, but I can't seem to take the fall. Electricity aside, this is more than just a life for me. I can put our time on the line and bring back the night before. Light the fire, let it burn on top of you. Breathe again beneath the flames. I'm a man that can't be saved. Light the fire and let it burn on top of you. Breathe again beneath the flames. I'm a man, I'm a man, I'm a man that can't be saved.
Everything that it would take to be happy, and they are not happy because they want something else or they want the same. And we all know people who have lots of misfortune and they are deeply happy. They radiate happiness. Why? Because they're grateful.
Be free. 'Cause it's all white noise, swallow it deep. Maybe we'll know why eventually. We see through the stars, burning in the atmosphere. Down the boulevard. Tell me what I want to hear, but you apologize over and over. You don't want to know, 'cause it's all white noise, swallow it deep. Taking your heart down. 'Cause it's all white noise, swallow it deep. Cause it's all white noise, swallow it deep. Cause it's all white noise, following me. Taking your high horse, now be free. Cause it's all white noise, following me. Maybe we'll know why eventually.
Cause I'm alone. It hurts when you say rainy days are too cheap to get to me. Cause I'm all over you. Are you all over me? True, it hurts when you say rainy days are too cheap to get to me. Are you all over me? And I have words for you some other time, in a different state of mind, catching up when you're behind. Cause I'm all over you. Are you all over me? True, it hurts when you say rainy days are too cheap to get to me. Cause I'm all over you. Are you all over me? True, it hurts when you say rainy days are too cheap to get to me. Are you all over me? Are you all over me?
I don't wanna know, no, who's taking you home, home, and loving you so. The way I used to love you, oh, don't wanna know, who's taking you home, and loving you so. The way I used to love you, oh, don't wanna know, wasted. And the more I drink, the more I think about you. Oh no, I can't take it. Baby, every place I go reminds me of you. What do you think of me? Who we used to be? Is it better now that I'm not around? My friends are acting strange. They bring up your name. Are you happy now? Are you happy now? I don't wanna know, no, who's taking you home, I'm loving you so. The way I used to love you, oh, don't wanna know, no, who's taking you home, I'm loving you so. The way I used to love you, oh, don't wanna know. Someone new. I see, I don't believe it. Even in my head, you still in my bed. Maybe I'm just a fool. Do you think of me? What we used to be? Is it better now that I'm not around? Friends are acting strange. Giving up your name. Are you happy now? Are you happy now? I don't wanna know, no. You're taking me home, love me so. The way I used to love you, oh, don't wanna know, no. Taking you home, loving you so. The way I used to love you, oh, don't wanna know. Oh, I don't wanna know. Taking you home, no. Taking you home, loving you so. The way I used to love you, oh, don't wanna know, no. You're taking me home, I'm loving you so. The way I used to love you, oh, don't wanna know, no. Taking you home, I'm loving you so. The way I used to love you, oh, don't wanna know, oh yeah, no, don't wanna know, yeah, I don't wanna know who's taking you home, loving you so. The way I used to love you, oh, don't wanna know.
You are not the same, I can't pretend you are. I am ever changing too. But I'll take a shot for you any damn day, and you know it. Ride with you down any day at full speed just to show it. But you are not the same, I can't pretend you are. Circumstances change the very core of us. But I've come down every step of the way, and you know it. Had you from day one, but boy, go ahead and ignore it. Go ahead and play with another night, I'm done. Love with another, or several others, I'm done. Flex your way out of here. We'll flex your way out of here. Go ahead and play with another night, I'm done.
Yeah, you are not the same and don't pretend you are. Why should I be feeling so alone when we're just chilling, girl? I don't know what to say to you. Other than I know I fucked up, I'm sorry. Yeah. And I held you down when no one was around. Will you stop me from leaving?
Go ahead and play with another night, I'm done. Love with another, or several others, I'm done. Flex your way out of here. We'll flex your way out of here. Go ahead and play with another night, I'm done. We are not the same, I can't pretend we are. I cannot ask more of you. I'd like to say I'm above it, but fuck it, I'm salty. Cause this happens don't mean a thing when the days are this toxic. Go ahead and play with another night, I'm done. Love with another, or several others, I'm done. Flex your way out of here. We'll flex your way out of here. Go ahead and play with another night, I'm done. Go ahead and play with another night, I'm done. Love with another, or several others, I'm done. Flex your way out of here. Go flex
about to blow up, about to blow up, about to blow up. So you can sit again like you want it. 4 o'clock in the morning. I need somebody, tell me are you there, somebody, you. Can I take it, baby, yeah, you. You gon' take it, baby, now. My body calling New Orleans, 4 in the morning. I'm being honest, yeah, you can get whatever you like from me, like from me, like from me, like from me, like from me. Now you got me in my feelings. Oh, motherfucker got me hugging. Oh, you know how you got me like this. Oh, you got me all in my feelings. Yeah, now you got me in my feelings. Oh, motherfucker got me hugging. Oh, you know how you got it like this. Oh, you got me all in my feelings. Yeah. I'm beside myself, can't get me up. I feel stupid, I ain't usually so lit, but I've been sipping so now I'm fucked up. My way up, sure, trying my luck. But like Sarah, you can ride the wave like you want it. 4 o'clock in the morning, I need somebody, tell me how you that somebody, yeah, you. I can't even fake it, yeah, you. You gon' get me later now. My body calling New Orleans, 4 in the morning. I'm being honest, yeah, you can get whatever you like from me, like from me, like from me, like from me.
Down to my last match, fire I'll touch just to feel. Why is it easier to burn than it is to heal? Out in the cold you've been a victor to come back in, but I can't do this again. I can't keep you from home, but I'm set on fire to keep you warm. I can't go on and on, setting fires to keep you warm. I can't keep you from home, but I'm set on fire to keep you warm. I can't go on and on, setting fires to keep you warm. Answers I don't want to hear. Chest to chest with you, I'm staring into a mirror. Out in the cold you've been a victor to come back in, but I can't do this again. I can't keep you from home, but I'm set on fire to keep you warm. I can't go on and on, setting fires to keep you warm. I can't keep you from home, but I'm set on fire to keep you warm. I can't go on and on, setting fires to keep you warm.
much more vivid than what I remember. Oh Lord, I stand in a moment, trying hard to hold on. Each second passes to the past and then it's all gone. Hey now, here we go. Ooh, yeah. Hey now, here we go. Wait now, there we go. sang our first lullabies. First step to the first number, to the winning, losing fractions that will make us. Hey now, here we go. Ooh yeah. Hey now, here we go. Wait now, there we go. Ah, yeah. Wait now, yeah. To my millennium, count to 1,001. The hearts that came and gone. Love life is dead is my millennium. And everything I've lost, I'll keep it close in my millennium. Oh, my millennium. Oh, my Lord, my millennium. To my millennium, count to 1,001. The hearts that came and gone. Love life and death is my millennium. And everything I've lost, I'll keep it close in my millennium. Oh, my millennium. Oh, my Lord, my millennium. Oh, you know I'm always telling you that you don't have me on my knees. But tonight's the night that you are gonna get the best of me. Even though I tell you no, I don't wanna fight it when you pull me close. Baby, I play hard to get, but you got me so hard to forget. Baby, I play hard to get, but you got me so hard to forget. Oh, you know I'm always telling you that you don't have me on my knees. But tonight's the night that you are gonna get the best of me. Even though I tell you no, I don't wanna fight it when you pull me close. Baby, I play hard to get, but you got me so hard to forget.
Baby, I play hard to get, but you got me so hard to forget.
Baby, I play hard to get, but you got me so hard to forget.
Baby, I play hard to get, but you got me so hard to forget.
Baby, I play hard to get, but you got me so hard to forget. Baby, I play hard to get, but your body's so hard to forget.
in my throat. I'm fading. Don't hate me now. I don't wanna be here no more. Let's start with a bang. Get lost in the city, let's down in a lullaby. We cut like a samurai, swing like a butterfly. It's so hazy. Don't blame me now. We're lost in the city, let's cut like a samurai. Throw another star in the sky. Let's find another heart to tonight. I'm chasing your face now. I'ma put a spark in your eye. Let's start with a bang. Get lost in the city, lights down in a lullaby. We cut like a samurai, swing like a butterfly. It's so hazy. Don't blame me now. We're lost in the city, let's cut like a samurai.
Losing my later, and then you know. So won't you go back to where you belong? Won't you go back to where you belong? All we ever wanted is to feel alone, baby, and that time's so right. We all share this moment and the hands are right. So just hold on tight in this walk of life. All we ever wanted is to feel alone, baby, and that time's so right. We all share this moment and the hands are right. So just hold on tight in this walk of life.
Somebody said, don't you trust him? No. Texting from his ex, what did you expect? Now you're lying here, know where he goes. Now we got that shit, come on in the picture. Same way that they come, that's the way they go. Now we got that shit, rewind in the picture. There goes the alarm and the siren goes. Style boy, I always been a sucker for a wild boy. Better done it, I know my words. I might be getting what I deserve. I can't stick around for the cheap run. What's done is done. There goes the alarm, ringing in my head. Like somebody said, don't you trust him? No. Texting from his ex, what did you expect? Now you're lying here, don't where he goes. Now we got that shit, come on in the picture. Same way that they come, that's the way they go. Now we got that shit, rewind in the picture. There goes the alarm and the sirens go. Bang, bang, 2 shots fired. One fool, one liar. Ring, ring, trust don't miss it. House on fire, house on fire. Ring, ring, trust don't miss it. House on fire. There goes the alarm, ringing in my head. Like somebody said, don't you trust him? No. Texting from his ex, what did you expect? Now you're lying here, don't where he goes. Now we got that shit, come on in the picture. Same way that they come, that's the way they go. Now we got that shit, rewind in the picture. There goes the alarm and the siren go. There goes the You've got it, so chemical. I watch you go deeper below. I want it a little more. Come give it all, nothing solo. Seasons grow, it's something I know. We just need to make it on time. I get cold the second you go. I never felt something so fine. Ah, baby, we can get it right, summer lady. You've been on my mind, I'm waiting. The moment you arrive, yeah, we can reignite high Fahrenheit. Ah, baby, we can get it right, summer lady. You've been on my mind, I'm waiting. The moment you arrive, yeah, we can reignite high Fahrenheit.
I'm on fire. It's burning in my bones and in my eyes. These dreams are taking hold. It just need time and time.
Building walls to burn. burn them down. Cannonballs to watch me drown. You got me lost in here and now you got me gone and lost and found. We only hanging in and I don't know what I'm thinking, but I know that I was thinking if I keep up with this thinking. All these dreams and all these plans we shared under the moonlight. The dreams and plans that I had, I just don't know if it's still right. When I leave in the morning and I kiss you and say goodnight, I kiss myself until we wake. Should have told you goodbye. Late at night with clothes covered in sand. Got me what I'm missing, but I'm getting mad. All I have is mine.
Before we have done, then we'll be alright. It's not much, but it's better than nothing. We're running on fumes, but we'll make it through now. It's not love, but it's better than dreaming. Before we have done, then we'll be alright. It's not much, but it's better than nothing. We're running on fumes, but we'll make it through tonight. It's not love, but it's better than dreaming.
Can't help but smiling when I see you, baby. Cause even though you did me dirty, I still seem to crave you. I still want it, and now you're gonna remember all of those times you said no, but I guess we both get what we want. Tell me if you wanna stay tonight. Tell me if you wanna stay tonight. Oh no, no, no. Girl, you know that I'ma do you right. Girl, you know that I'ma do you right. Tell me if you wanna stay tonight. Tell me if you wanna stay tonight. Oh no, no. Girl, you know that I'ma do you right. Girl, you know that I'ma do you right. Around and introduce you to my friends like she the only one who's left within their pen, right? Yeah, to tell the truth, I ain't just friends like you wanna slide off in the fence, right? I got the money on my hands, right? So then she says, yo, it really all depends. Like I'm about to go and meet up with my friends. You finally got the money on your stand. That's what I keep trying to do. You got the mileage, but really I don't blame her for just trying to pay for college. She's college, why you we popping, girl, I'm all in. You ain't gotta worry, you ballin'. So tell me if you with it, why you stallin'? Probably cause you know that I deliver, put the call in. I can't help but smiling when I see you, baby. Cause even though you did me dirty, I still seem to crave you. I still want it, and now you're gonna remember all of those times you said no, but I guess we both get what we want. If you wanna stay tonight, tell me if you wanna stay tonight. Oh no, no, no. Girl, you know that I'ma do you right. Girl, you know that I'ma do you right. Tell me if you wanna stay tonight. Tell me if you wanna stay tonight. Oh no, no, no. Girl, you know that I'ma do you right. Girl, you know that I'ma do you right.
Yourself up in that shit. Walk into a small field room, a little black dress and mama shoes. Isn't it a bit too soon? Or how could you be that girl? Oh, 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 how could you be that girl? Oh, 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 how could you be that girl? to a God who won't talk back. Faith is dying, the tears of signs just going off track. Pray to a God who won't talk back, won't talk back. Down on the knees and pray to a God who won't talk back. Hey. I don't believe that the devil had a dress on.
Can poo particles in our farts transmit contagious diseases?
100% yes. I can answer this question.
I am Dr. Drew, and this is Dr. Drew After Dark. Please be advised that Dr. Drew After Dark may contain sexually oriented content and be unsuitable for young children. Hey everybody, welcome to Dr. Drew After Dark. Horace, Christina P. joins me as always. 818-253-1693 is where you can find us to leave us those juicy voice messages you very kindly do. Or women, I need to cleanse my palate with the young ladies.
There's a lot of jizz on the last.
The last one was a little too much semen talk. DrDrew@gmail.com. I got a whole list of great emails here, DrDrew@gmail. And before the mics heated up, the young lady to my right now, we're talking. Well, she opened the conversation with, why do people hate Jews? Why do they hate Jews? Why do they hate them?
I don't understand, because I grew up in a Jewish neighborhood in the San Fernando Valley. I went to many bar mitzvahs and bat mitzvahs, and I love the Jewish people. I don't understand historically why Jews are so hated.
I think we're always okay. You ready?
Yeah, let's be real.
So,
okay, let's
we're
put on
real.
Rational
Give me some new. Yeah, Rational Revolution. Show me some imagery from Rational Revolution.
Yeah, let's talk openly and try to uncover.
Look at that.
That's good. That's
look at
Dr. Jeans.
I like the way your version just like tossing it off.
Yeah.
Like, it's like how Hitler would always do this. Your version is like
whatever.
It's so good.
This is great.
It's beyond.
Who did this one?
This was Lindsay from Ontario.
She reacted on Twitter that you guys found it. She tweeted it. Very good. Right.
Oh.
Yeah. Very sweet. So thank you for that. I will use that everywhere.
Yeah, but back to the Jews. I mean,
so say that I was podcast on the kind of on the health press of things in California, and I said when I go to the States, you look back and think it's a concentration camp in California. This feels like you're contained, like there's a government force like holding you down. And some agency, some Jewish activist accused me of anti-Semitism and stuff. I said, first of all, let me just you fucking understand my family escaped from the Ukrainian genocide, my Jewish family, you fucking idiot. I don't know if you want to put this on the thing or not, but that really, she was being anti-Semitic.
Yes.
That was anti-Semitic against me.
Well, and also, nowadays, if you call somebody a racist, you're immediately disqualifying anything they say after. Right. Now you are immoral.
So this more dangerous. Correct. And this is what she was pulling, was that move.
Yeah.
It wasn't around race, it was around not understanding the implications of the concentration camp. I understand.
Yeah,
I understand.
I think most people get it.
My people escaped pogroms, Ukrainian genocide, the Bolshevik. They were kicked out.
What's pogrom?
Pogroms were these anti-Jewish. But can you think of another moment in history where we similarly use these sorts of moralizing absolutes as a way of labeling?
Yes, many times.
When was the last time?
Well, let's talk about the Salem witch hunts.
Okay,
McCarthyism.
McCarthyism, right.
Yeah.
So, and let's also remind ourselves that The Crucible, Arthur Miller's play, was written about the Salem witch trials as a stand-in for the McCarthy trials. So we're using McCarthyism again, and think how disdainful we've been of that throughout my life, and now people are using it with great flair.
It's amazing.
It's not the Rational Revolution.
But back
it's the
to the
opposite.
Jews. So why do they hate the Jews?
So having laid this groundwork, let me just say that whenever something happens to somebody, some part of it has to be, they must play a role in it. That's my philosophy on life is.
But you're saying personally that whenever something bad happens,
you're putting Shylock up there. Why are you putting Shylock up there?
Because that was the first anti-Semitic depiction of a Jew.
Yes, you're right. In Shakespeare, the Shylock is the lender of money.
Exactly.
Yes, a Shylock.
Yes,
yes.
he was. But Jews did lend money, and that was one of the places they got a bad rap.
Well, Nadav told me that banking used to be undesirable.
No,
right?
the Christians felt it was sinful.
Right, to deal with money.
Not just deal with money, but to give. Mortgages. You have to have a.
The Jews were like that. Ain't
lend
sinful.
money. Lend money makes sense. So they've got a problem on the Christian side for being simple. There's always something. I think when people have been traumatized, they're intergenerationally, they tend to bring trauma their way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's just that. That's just the way the brain works.
Right.
So there's that piece, but I think envy is another piece.
I agree.
Because I think wherever they go, that the values they have are so generational. and they always involve making money and hanging on to money and building capital, and people get angry about that.
That's right. The Jews are the first rappers in that they have haters. You know what I'm saying? Like the Jews are
I'm trying.
Jews are the original hater getters. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, they're the chosen ones from biblical times.
That's something easy to be envious of, right?
Clearly.
And they were kind of involved in Jesus' demise too, and so.
Well, no, hold on, because I went to Catholic school and I learned that it wasn't the Jews that killed Jesus,
it's
but
the Romans.
the Romans.
I know, I understand, but they're involved, right?
Jesus was a Jew.
Jesus was a Jew.
First 5 books of the Bible.
Mm-hmm. All Jews.
Hebrew.
All Jews. All
okay.
Jews.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I for one am a huge fan of the Jewish community. I love them. I
well,
love
it's not consistent with the rational revolution to be hateful of any group. That's what.
But don't you feel, Dr. Drew?
Oh, we're gonna go after.
No, I'm saying I think that. No, I agree. I don't think I'm consciously.
No, I think that should be like principle 1.
Yeah, I'm not consciously.
We're accepting and of all culture. Well, there is.
I'm not accepting of all cultures.
Correct. Because I'm going to say. No, it's not funny. Because principle 1 should be right and wrong exists.
I agree.
We agree.
I agree.
Okay.
Yes,
how we understand it is complicated, right?
Yes.
I think there is such a thing as moral emotions and moral sensibilities.
I agree.
And there's moral reasoning. 2 different things. Yes, they exist. With that as a caveat, we accept all cultures and people.
I tolerate. I don't accept. I've been to Saudi Arabia. I've been to Riyadh. I've been there on chopping block Thursdays when people are publicly crucified or have their hands cut off. I didn't get to see it, unfortunately, because I was in a military base.
Gosh.
But they still practice. I don't know if they still. This was like a decade ago. If you steal, they cut your hand off and stuff, and that is real. And they don't really treat women too well. So I tolerate. But I'm not going to actively take steps against, let's say, that culture. But
we'll embrace. We'll embrace, but
I'll
we
be
will.
Like, bro, that do you, bro. But I guess what? I ain't going to fucking Saudi Arabia anytime soon.
Okay. Well, and we could label some of their practices as wrong and still accept them.
100%.
Right, because we do wrong stuff too here. Trust me.
Do we?
I'm sure.
America's perfect.
Oh, please. Oh, please.
We don't torture people.
But this leads me to your dad.
Oh, are we going to talk about my dad? I haven't
Yeah.
talked about him in therapy even for months. I've been avoiding
I could
the
tell.
subject.
That's why I needed to bring it back. I'm so fascinated with him.
So am I.
First of all, he created you, which is already a pretty cool thing, right?
rad.
Yeah, it's pretty rad. And you had to work on some things because of him, I understand. But you can't nothing comes without a little bit of luggage.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's always a price for something good.
Absolutely.
Nothing is all good.
But let me ask you. Okay, I'll tell you, Drew. Is just how do I move forward? Because
with him,
he has a hard time with boundaries. I put them down. They're constantly broken. I'm not sure he has an interest in being a grandfather.
I think.
So what's the thing? What do I do?
I think you have to adjust yourself, adjust your position.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
He can't maintain boundaries, right?
No, he cannot.
Right. So you're going to have an expectation that he will be going through boundaries. Right.
Yeah.
Also, there may be nothing in this relationship for you.
There isn't.
Right. And that can be okay. Then you have to ask yourself, what do I need to do to be a good daughter?
Oh, God.
For me.
I
For
have been a good daughter.
For me. For you.
I have been a good daughter.
So far. But maybe it's time to get... And here's the deal. Maybe there's something in him that would be not good for you, but would be good for YMH. You know what I'm saying? Because, you may not get anything good out of it, but we will. It will be, you and I will do a live After Dark just to bring your dad in.
Unreal.
This is RPC on steroids, my friend.
How dare you exploit my personal suffering? It's as though we exploit each other's personal lives. It's as though I had your wife come on.
Right. It's almost as though you brought my wife in twice into your podcast. And I've had to put up with the reveals associated with that, shall we say.
Well, you're extremely virile.
Yeah, it's all good, and I think it's going to be all good.
Oh, Dr. Drew's dick is too big, and he uses it too much. Oh, he comes 50 times a week. He gets beaches. Oh, how hard has that been to live that down? Yeah. You poor guy.
I swear, I believe in my heart that we're going to come out with something similar for your dad. I believe
that. He gives beaches?
No, that he comes out good.
He is good. I don't think he's inherently bad.
And culturally, we must mine that gold mine.
Okay, but here's the deal. If I can,
he escaped Hungary from the communists.
I know, he's so rad.
Yes.
No, he's rad. He's the hardcorest motherfucker that ever.
Yes.
And he's so hardcore.
And he's not a cartoon character. He's a real person. When these things show up in the movies and stuff, they're cartoons.
I know.
I want to know really what's going on in his head. And I think something for the generations is there to be learned. I really mean it. I'm not kidding.
Let me tell you something. If he were interested in being
this is the rational revolution. You need to go after these sources of culture.
I know. And let me tell you something. I would have him on just to talk about communism and talk about the ramp up, because it's very similar to what happened in his motherland and all that.
It was Ask him if there was a rational revolution in Hungary at the time. Maybe somebody
There
tried.
was a revolution. The revolution. You didn't know.
The rational revolution. No. Was there a
There's
was there a
Hungarian-
pushback?
Yes, there was a revolution. In 1956.
Yeah, that was against the Soviets.
Against the Soviets.
That didn't work so well.
Didn't work. But they loved watching that. Hungarians really hang their hat on that.
I'd like to know more about it. Was he there for it?
Yeah, he's and he's like, like we go.
You
we,
saw the tank.
We go to
That's what we always
Budapest.
talk about. I
Yeah.
saw the tank. I saw the tank.
And like my dad and I, we were being hungry together. Like, see this building right here? This is where I was standing when I saw a Russian throw a rock. This is where I picked up a grenade. This is where I picked up a rifle of a dead soldier's hand. Like, it's all horrible. It's horrible. Have you been to Budapest yet?
No, I'd love
You have to go to the.
My
It's
kids
called.
my kids have been.
Oh, go to the. It's called the Terror Haza.
Well, there's the
Terror
Buddha
House.
and Pest,
There's
right?
two different
Yeah,
sides
which
separated.
side? Which side?
He's from Buddha.
Okay.
But there's this place called the Terror House. Terror Haza. This is it.
House of Terror.
House of Terror. This is the very building where they tortured Hungarians. And
What is it
the
saying on the outside there? What is all that?
HMV. That's the form your communist shit.
It says terror on the.
The Terror House. Yeah.
okay.
And you can go see their torture rooms where they would pull you in, and people would report their neighbors, and you can see how they.
Well,
they
we're going
tortured.
there. We're
It's
on our way.
fucking rad, actually. It is kind of interesting to see. Not kind of. It is.
Oh.
It's really cool.
It's just the fact that that history is not remembered vividly
Nope.
enough by young people today. That's why your dad needs to
It's
speak.
It's a generation ago. That's how stupid we are as people. Build a wall. We just did that. We just did that. Hey, how's the wall going, shitbags? Right?
Well, we didn't need one because everyone got scared shitless by COVID.
Oh yeah.
So everyone stayed home.
Did you see the South Park, the
Yes.
pandemic special? They're
Yes,
like, well,
of
he killed
course.
all the Mexicans with COVID.
Of course. how, as always, all of South Park has moved off of Cartman onto Randy.
Oh yeah, I never was a huge fan
Randy?
of like South Park.
Oh.
Unless it's the '90s. I was in college. We used to smoke.
Oh,
pot.
it's so good.
It is good. They're great.
They
They're so
they
smart.
always bring it home. They always bring it home. Like the if you want to see a classic South Park, it is the Mormon episode.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
They grew up with a bunch of Mormons and love Mormons, but they made fun in a long cartoon about their beliefs. Stan befriends a Mormon kid. The Mormon kids, they're all happy and having a good life. And one night he goes over there to have dinner, and they tell the story of Prophet
Elijah?
Smith, Prophet John Smith. whatever it was.
Oh yeah.
And this incredible story is portrayed as they believe it. You know, it's like flashing up there. This is their actual beliefs. And at the end, Stan goes, I don't know if I can hang around with this kid anymore.
Yeah.
So fast forward, they're at the bus stop where they always are going to school, and the Mormon kid comes up, and the five of them are standing there. Four of them are standing there. And the Mormon goes, hey Stan, how you doing? Hey Billy, notice you're not been around much. What's going on? Stan goes, I just can't hang anymore. You know, you the things you believe. You told me that story. It's just too much. You believe this stuff. And Billy goes, well, okay, Stan, I get it. He goes, these beliefs are pretty fantastic. They don't make sense, do they? But because of them, I have a great life. I have a great family. I do great things. You need to suck my balls. And Cartman goes, that kid is cool.
That's it.
So they bring it home. They always bring it home
They
like
do.
that.
They always balance it. Well, Mormons are the best audiences. I do Salt Lake City, Utah, once or twice a year, and it's fantastic. They're the best audiences. They're the nicest people. Super fun. They drink Diet Coke. That's their one caveat. We're not supposed to have caffeine. Yeah, I love.
Break it out. Let me do a email before we get into voice messages. Fetishes. When my boyfriend and I started dating, I knew he liked larger women. Throughout our relationship, he started to share his fetish of feeding. Who is a feeding
Feeder.
fetish?
Yeah, what's that all about, Drew? What's that? What's the unconscious libidinal?
I think it is, the easy move is that something went wrong in the breastfeeding thing. It was
overfed.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Throughout our relationship, he started to share the fetish. He wanted to feed me extremely fatty things while we were having sex. He would like me to become extremely large to the point of immobility.
Oh dear.
I feel conflicted, but I also think there's also something going on with, like, mom was pregnant or something. That whole thing of a woman's enlarging, it overwhelms a kid's regulatory system, let's say. He finally shared the part of fantasy, and he wanted to become. He wanted to become extremely large as well. He's currently quite thin, which is the comedy. It's always a thin dude.
That's interesting. So maybe, I like the sensation of being full, which is why I would overeat.
It's another. I wouldn't call that a fetish, but that is a little bit of a compulsion.
It's a compulsion. I do it when I'm feeling depressed. Not anymore. Now that I'm on a ketogenic diet.
What happened?
Nothing. I just get sad because I don't overeat anymore. And
Get sad because you don't overeat?
Well, you love to overeat.
Oh.
Because it's my thing.
Ew. That's more than a compulsion now.
Yeah, I like to overeat.
Because
Who
that's
doesn't?
now, it feels a little fetish when you say it.
Oh, no.
Little. I'm not saying sexual. Fetish, like a little too much. But it feels like
Oh.
a means to regulate emotions.
Yeah. I don't like feelings. But yes,
Yeah.
I would prefer to eat them, but I don't because I'm.
But it's not
on a
just
good
the eating,
diet.
it's the filling up.
Yeah, you feel full emotionally.
Yeah,
let's say. So maybe
you're not so empty.
Correct. So maybe in this relationship, since he's thin, you know what I'm saying? Like, is there something to filling the other up versus
Yeah.
the
Well,
self?
you kind of, self and other becomes mushy in the the subconscious, right? And it kind of goes together if your boundaries aren't good. So when we want to bring your dad in here, we're gonna
Thank you. Yeah, good luck.
No,
Find him first. I don't know where he is.
No, I'm just gonna say no boundaries. We're gonna let him loose.
Good.
And you guys, because it's not for you. We're not trying to get anything for you except being a good daughter for you. And then YMH gets so.
Can I bring my
richness.
therapist to this?
Yes.
Can she sit here and hold my hand? Look at you.
Christina.
Look at you just drooling, salivating for this.
Hey, it's not just for cool guys.
It's like,
that should be our new logo.
This is like your teen mom shit. You're like,
this is so
torturing
good.
me.
No, this will help.
No, don't you lie to me. It will not help.
Not help you. No,
not at all.
No. We got to get you through it. You don't even. You know what? To be fair, you don't have to be here. You don't even need to be here. But I would still love your therapist and your dad. You don't need to here.
What is this sadistic streak in you today?
I would like you to be here because you have good insight into what we can really get some information.
Is this revenge? Is this revenge for
I love you.
Susan
This
on
is
my
the
show?
best. This is the best. So here's the question.
All right,
how do we keep him happy and stay attracted to him, not eat myself to death, and how does somebody even associate eating with sex? What kind of trauma is typically associated with it?
Yeah.
Again, we just discussed
Right.
the feeding
But
and the fullness.
Trauma, now, don't people develop eating disorders around sexual molestation? Like if you're molested as a kid, doesn't that always...
Well, it can be, particularly oral sex, right? It makes kind of sense. I was thinking of this woman recently I had seen who, it's gross, ready?
Yeah.
Every time her dad would force her as a young girl, like 5 years old, to have oral sex, he would then sit her down, give her milk and cookies, and say, "It's because I love you."
Oh, boy.
And this woman is the most compulsive eating. Well, that's where it went. Yeah, of course, So yes, I mean this. It's what humans do to one another. Forget humans.
Children. I can't even fathom.
I mean,
shouldn't we just be allowed to murder these people that hurt children?
Well, maybe that's another topic for us. After we talk about hating the Jews, can we just murder people?
I think we should.
I've heard people say things like that lately, and I find that.
Well, you can't rehabilitate them.
No, I'm just saying we just can't go around murdering people. We got to deal. Let the system do whatever.
It's a slippery slope, but we can cut their penises off.
That'd be interesting. Well, if it were your kids, I'm sure that's exactly what my name is Adam. I have a question about edibles. I a male like to enjoy no sex drive for 24-year-old, but when I take an edible, I get horny as well. I'm ready to fuck extensively, and I was wondering if you knew what this might be. Also, does this happen to Tom as well?
I don't think so.
Does Tom take edibles at night?
He does 10 milligram Tom every night. He takes an edible. I mean, we've both been unable to sleep without some assistance during these last few months.
Oh, really?
Yeah, either drink
depressed?
alcohol.
Right.
If alcohol or I mean, is this not the craziest time in our lives?
Yeah, but talk to me about it. I mean, why now?
What do you mean, why now? Pandemic.
I mean, is it no, I don't mean it in, like, I'm incredulous. I mean, like, literally, what is it about this stage that everyone seems to, is it the burnout of the, it's the crisis fatigue, right?
Yeah, you're overwhelmed. It's been too much bullshit.
Too long, right?
Too long.
I was thinking about this. Think about that. Here's something for the wrap. I sent you a whole article. I'll read you this is from essentially a Nobel Prize. It is my view that we've been ill-prepared to deal with this onslaught. We have a very thin record of writing to make the case that freedom, market forces, and private governance are better than government quarantines and closures to dealing with pandemics. So where do we turn? Like, which do we turn? He's
there's
saying
no evidence
that one is superior to the other.
Actually, but I've heard, doesn't Noam Chomsky think that freedom is better than the other approach?
Yes, I think a lot of people do think that, including the World Health Organization.
Yeah, I think historically speaking, freedom has always promoted better things.
Well, I was thinking about this. Measles.
Yeah.
Because somebody was asking me, we're going to get to herd immunity. I'm thinking, I'm not so sure about that.
Why is
but
that?
Let's think,
would it just take too many people
it's too
getting
many,
it?
too many. And if it's 20%, the way some people think it is, like things like the cruise ship, it was always 20%, and then it just stopped. So there
What do
may
you mean 20%?
only 20%
people
population get it in a given isolated population. So there might be something about genetics or how we behave or the virus that it may not be 70%, it may be 20%. We could get to 20%, but I think we're going to get the vaccine first, which I know.
Praise Allah.
I know, right? But let me say this: measles.
Yeah.
So measles came around. People were saying no one ever got to herd immunity with measles, and I thought, well, I read an article where somebody was discussing the issue of herd immunity, and they go, we've never achieved herd immunity with. They listed a bunch of diseases, and I thought, most of these are childhood illnesses, and the reason you don't get herd immunity with childhood illnesses is because there's a new crop of children coming in.
Oh, I thought you meant they're going to die. The kids die.
And that's what had happened throughout history, is that a significant percentage would die. Measles is so infectious that if somebody with measles coughs in a aisle in a grocery store, everyone that walks through for 2 hours will get it if they haven't had it or been vaccinated.
What?
And yet we didn't shut down society when that was killing kids.
No.
Isn't that weird?
And
At a
kids
much
are-
higher rate than older people
And children are
being
doing
killed.
so well with COVID.
But isn't that
It's
weird?
weird. And what year did you live?
Forever throughout human history until the 50s we had the vaccine. And it would just kill children. It just
It's nuts. And COVID right now they're saying has a 99.96%.
99.6.
99.6. Okay. Survival rate.
Yeah, you're. I have
So-
prostate cancer. I have a 90%. When I finished my operation, they said you have 90% probability of cure. You know what that meant to me? Cured.
Yeah.
90%. When something's 90% in medicine, it's you're either done or if it's a 90% probability, you're good.
Well, even with the birth control pill, I always was it's 99% effective.
You're good.
And you're like, oh, I'm fine. There's
You're
an
good.
anomaly that it goes wrong.
That's correct.
So, are we translating this to the anomaly that things? No, we know who this.
We know who the
unfortunately
population
does.
is. Now, the problem is, you know what I found so fascinating? When President Trump walked through this without a big deal, people were like, he's still sick. They couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
And I thought, no, those doctors did a great job. They made great choices. I hope everyone gets those treatments someday soon. And he got through the way most people go through it. That's how it
But to
works.
be fair, he
Even
was
with-
getting treatment that most Americans are not going to have.
Oh, they will eventually.
Oh.
Absolutely. It's coming. It's coming. But the point being, that's most people get through it. Whether it was the treatment or whatever, most people get through it. And people could not get their head around it, which I find bizarre because all we're inundated with every night on the news are these stories they go out and find of horror. And the horrors are out there. When 10 million people get an illness, you're going to find some bad stories.
Of course.
Thousands of them. You're going to have something every night. Don't put it on TV every night.
I know, but they sell it so much more. I mean, now it's 24/7. You remember in the 80s, the McMartin preschool?
Yes.
So if you weren't around then, in the 80s, there was hysteria over preschool molestations. Now there's
Everybody was molesting preschool kids.
but there was really one.
Turned out it wasn't even happening at the McMartin school.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think if you look back at what was going on, a lot of women were going to work, and there was a lot of anti-women going to work propaganda. And
Interesting.
that was something going on at the time.
Interesting.
But anyways, it is the media's job to entertain us and give us those freak stories.
But
and
we have
freak out.
lost rational revolution, my dear.
Yeah.
We've lost the ability.
horrible.
We've lost our judgment. We've lost our way, and we have the death of math. upon
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
Math
Death
has died.
bites.
Death of math. You can't take the 99.6 and do anything with it. It's dead.
Wait, more
probabilities are more dead than arithmetic.
And more importantly, you have people. I don't know if you heard on the Howard Stern show, people drinking urine. There's a convention they sent Mehmet to where they were drinking urine for therapeutic reasons.
Well, Nadav, you can find me the lady that I was so captivated by that is from this camp. You've never seen her?
I'm sure. Is it Rain Forest?
Oh, Rain Florence?
Rain Florence. I'm very familiar
Okay,
with
so
Rain.
you've seen this world and seen this.
She does enemas with her urine.
Everything, all kinds of things. It's all good. It's all
But that's
beautiful.
one woman. I'm talking now an entire convention.
Oh, there's a world out there for everything now.
But-
They find each other because of the internet.
Well, let me.
They used to hide it.
Yeah.
now it's reinforced.
Let's get back to shame. So,
well, that's another part of the Rational Revolution.
Yeah,
The return.
shame
this is
is
what I want
good.
to talk to your dad about. I want to talk to him about the Gulag archipelagos and shame and escaping communism.
yeah, shame in small doses is good. But here's the thing. Are there any therapeutic benefits to drinking your urine?
No.
Wow, just like that. I mean, have you read the literature online, Drew? My rheumatoid arthritis is practically gone, and I've been drinking my tea.
Right. Peace and love. Peace and love. They should enjoy.
What about eating your placenta?
There is a little bit of placenta, and then now they make it into pills and stuff, so you can eat it for weeks afterwards.
What are the medical benefits of eating placenta?
I mean, there's a lot of good
protein.
Yeah, that's about it.
It's like eating liver.
It's like eating. Yes, organs. Eating human organs. Eating organs are good.
Eating organs are good because
Lots of nutrients.
iron, nutrients.
All sorts of
What about fighting postpartum depression?
No.
There's no pains
No.
in that.
No.
It's just protein.
Yes. It's a good idea.
Some claim reduce
No.
postpartum
No.
bleeding.
Milk supply, micronutrients, iron, no evidence that
Sure.
provides health benefits. Placentophagy can be
Yeah.
harmful to you and your baby.
Oh, cool.
So don't just fry it up and eat it right after you're done.
Breastfeed.
Have you you've seen placentas? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
so
wanna eat that.
Yeah, you've seen it's like a pan. It's huge.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gnarly, and
Yeah.
they push it out of you when you
Yeah.
give birth. They
Yeah.
push on your uterus. It's really quite horrible, painful.
You use vaginal deliveries?
Both pushed them out.
Good for you. That's a peasant. Eastern European
bitch!
peasant stuff. You cannot prevent
No.
that from reproducing.
I should do that shit in the field, but
Yes.
I epiduraled both. I'm not
Oh,
a
you're
Viking.
weak. You're weak. Your dad would be so disappointed.
I don't buy into that. There's no Medal of Honor for pain.
It's funny.
I don't like that. I don't like being in pain.
I had no interest in talking to your mom. Interestingly.
She's dead.
I know, but I mean, I didn't have the same fascination with her. You know, she had a.
She was borderline.
She decompensated at the end and stuff.
Yeah, but she was, I'm telling you, the most resilient bad bitch in the world. Talk about all the women in my family, because they dealt with World War II and the communists and all this stuff, are so tough and so resilient. Like, she was just a bad bitch. She was amazing that way.
Abused you?
Crazier than cat shit.
All right, give me a voicemail.
Hey, Dr. Drew, this is Ben from Pittsburgh. Keep your jeans high and tight. I'll get to the question. When I was a baby, I was kind of leaning on my head in the womb and kind of imprinted, pressed into my skull because it was soft and able to be formed. She had a favorite chiropractor that she used to visit, and her chiropractor noticed this and said, I can form this back. So she told me that he, used his hands, I guess, to fix this indent in my skull, and she was like, the chiropractor said, okay, there you go. He'll never have a nosebleed for the rest of his life because of what I did.
What?
I've never had a nosebleed. What the hell did this guy do, Doc? All right, thanks a lot, and take a hot piss all
I think
over my face.
he banged your mom is what he did.
That's probably what he did.
Was it penile massage? Penile?
Internal massage.
Yeah. What are you
So
talking about?
a lot of kids are born with deformed heads.
Yeah.
It's very common, and now they put helmets on.
Yeah.
And a lot of kids just outgrow it. I
Mhm.
think this guy didn't do anything. And by the way, it sounds like what he was doing is actually rather dangerous.
Yeah.
Because if you're really using a lot of force, you can cause bleeding. I mean, that you can really hurt.
And in utero, how would that kid's leaning
It's
against
not even in
you?
utero. It's just how kids are. That's how they are. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just. Just even during delivery, you see other kids' heads are
Well,
deformed.
their heads they're not even fused together in the
Correct.
skull, so it has to be.
It has to be like
yeah.
that. Learned a lot this year about viruses and other pathogens, how they can hide on droplets, so from cough and sneezing. This is Sean from Western Australia. Fantastic.
Good day, mate.
My question is, can poo particles in our farts transmit contagious diseases?
100% yes. I can answer the question.
Keep going.
Meningitis, bacterial. My friend Sarah Tiana got it from poo particles in the air in Afghanistan, in Kandahar, because they have a sewage system that churns in the middle of the camp, and those shit particles got into her body.
That is a little different than farts. He wants to know if farts can do it. And even, I'm not sure
Pink
even...
eye? Could you get pink eye at least?
Yeah, not much.
If I farted
mean,
in your face.
If you sat down and sharted, now we're talking. But is that a challenge for you now?
Yeah.
He's like,
Maybe with... Not me.
Yeah, yes, because oral fecal transmission of all kinds of things is the leading transmission of diseases in the world.
No,
all
but
kinds
hold
of things.
on. But you've told me that eating your brown
I said in this country, no big deal.
In this country.
But oral fecal transmission of disease is the leading means of all kinds of
That's why you
diseases.
get diarrhea in Mexico. Because there's poo-poo in the water.
In the water, right?
There's poo-poo in the water.
Because they don't have the usual sanitation system when it gets
Gotcha.
in the groundwater.
I've had like
Yeah.
one time it lasted for 2 weeks after I had
Yeah, you should have been treated.
I should have, but I
Yeah.
was in college.
Sometimes you get E. coli and stuff. You can go bad.
What was wrong with me that I had like running diarrhea for 2
That's
weeks?
probably, well, that's traveler's diarrhea technically, because you can get intertoxigenic E. coli. Which is,
I didn't vomit, just brown.
and one of my sons had that on a cruise ship.
I mean, how disgusting are cruise ships?
Yeah.
They're just floating petri dishes.
Big bus.
Disgusting.
I want to go on a cruise though.
I know. I want to do anything right now. Let's do anything.
Just get me out of here. You say the farts don't push the shit out, but can farts push the sickness out? Another voice message.
Hi, Dr. Drew and Tom or Christina. My name is Joe.
Hi, Joe.
I've been a long-time listener. I just wanted to ask about a potential issue that might become bigger. I have noticed that a potential maybe hemorrhoid appearing in my butthole area. It's getting pretty swollen.
That's where hemorrhoids appear.
I'm not really sure what to think of it. There's no blood in my stool. It's not really painful. It kind of just feels like a little discomfort when I press on it. Just wondering maybe how to tackle it. Maybe, whether or not it's a diet issue or what the problem may be. But yeah, that's pretty much the short version of it. Keep them high and tight. Don't be stingy. Love you guys.
You betcha I'm coming up in May. That's another one that they've been dropping. So